Something important is happening right now and most people don't even realize it yet. There are moments in life when change doesn't come loudly. It doesn't knock on your door or announce itself with big headlines. It moves quietly, almost unnoticed, but its impact can be powerful. This is one of those moments. A shift is taking place, and it's directly connected to your future, your stability, and the way you live your everyday life. Think about it for a second. How often do we assume that things will just stay the same? That what we are receiving today will continue tomorrow without any surprises. It feels comfortable to believe that. It feels safe. But reality doesn't always work that way. Sometimes, the systems we depend on, the support we trust, they change. And if we are not aware, we are the ones who feel the shock later. Right now, there's a quiet urgency building. Not panic but awareness. A moment where paying attention can make all the difference. Because when something that affects your income begins to shift, even slightly, it creates a ripple effect. It touches your plans, your decisions, your sense of security. And the truth is, many people are still unaware. They are going about their daily routines, thinking everything is as it was. But underneath the surface, things are moving. Numbers are changing. Policies are adjusting. And those small changes, they add up. This is not about fear. This is about being awake. Being informed. Being ready. Because when you understand what's happening early, you give yourself power. You give yourself the chance to respond, to prepare, to take control instead of being caught off guard. So this moment right now, it matters more than you think. For so many people, this isn't just about numbers, it's about life. It's about the early mornings you showed up, even when you were tired. The long days that turned into long years. The sacrifices you made quietly, without expecting applause. It's about every moment you chose responsibility over comfort, believing that one day, it would all lead to something stable, something secure. And now, here you are thinking about the future, hoping that everything you built will be enough to carry you forward with dignity and peace. Because deep down, everyone wants the same simple things. A life where you don't have to constantly worry. A life where you can breathe a little easier at the end of the month. A life where you can take care of yourself and your loved ones without that silent pressure sitting on your shoulders. But the reality is, for many, that peace still feels just out of reach. There are people right now who lie awake at night, not because they want more luxury, but because they want more certainty. They want to know that they will be okay. That they won't have to depend on anyone. That their years of hard work actually meant something. This is especially true for those who are closer to retirement, or already there. Because at that stage, there's no starting over. There's no going back and doing things differently. What you have is what you have. And that makes every change feel bigger. Every update feels personal. It's not just financial, it's emotional. Because when your income feels uncertain, your confidence shakes. When your future feels unclear, your peace of mind disappears. And that's something no one talks about enough. But you are not alone in feeling this way. Millions of people are standing in the same place, asking the same questions, carrying the same quiet concerns in their hearts. And that's why understanding what's happening truly matters. Everywhere you look, the pressure is growing slowly, steadily, and sometimes silently. Prices are not what they used to be. The same amount of money that once felt enough now feels tight. Groceries cost more, bills come faster, and even the small, everyday expenses begin to add up in ways that feel overwhelming. It's not always dramatic, but it's constant. And that constant pressure, it wears people down. You start to notice it in small moments. Standing at the store, thinking twice before picking something up. Looking at your monthly expenses and wondering where everything is going. Making choices not because you want to but because you have to. And that feeling, it's not easy. Because it creates a kind of quiet stress. The kind that stays in the background of your mind. The kind that follows you throughout the day, even when you're trying to focus on something else. It's not loud, but it's always there, reminding you that things are getting harder. For many people, especially those depending on fixed incomes, this pressure feels even heavier. When your income doesn't grow at the same pace as your expenses, it creates a gap. And that gap, it forces tough decisions. What to cut back on? What to delay? What to give up? And no one wants to live like that. People want stability. They want to feel like they can handle what life throws at them without constantly adjusting, constantly worrying, constantly calculating every single step. But right now, uncertainty is everywhere. You hear different things, different updates, different opinions, and it becomes difficult to know what's real and what it actually means for you. That confusion only adds to the pressure. Because when you don't have clear information, your mind fills in the gaps with doubt. And doubt makes everything feel heavier. But even in the middle of all this pressure, something begins to shift. Not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a way that brings a sense of possibility. A small light in the distance that reminds you things don't always stay difficult forever. Because sometimes, just when uncertainty starts to feel overwhelming, a new update comes in and it carries a different kind of energy. A sense of hope. This is where things start to change. Where the story doesn't stay stuck in worry, but slowly begins to move towards something better. Because updates like these are not just about adjustments or figures, they are signals. Signals that someone, somewhere, is trying to respond to what people are going through. And that matters. It matters because when support systems begin to adjust, even slightly, it shows that the struggles people are facing are being seen. That the rising costs, the daily challenges, the quiet sacrifices, they are not completely ignored. And for a moment, that alone can feel reassuring. Because hope doesn't always come from big promises. Sometimes, it comes from small changes that remind you things can improve. That there is still movement. That the future is not completely fixed in the direction of struggle. You start to feel a different kind of curiosity. A different kind of attention. You want to know more. You want to understand what this change really means. Because deep down, you're looking for something that brings relief, something that gives you even a little more breathing space. And maybe, just maybe, this is part of that shift. A moment where things begin to balance out, even if slowly. A moment where the weight you've been carrying doesn't feel as heavy as before. Because when hope enters the picture, everything feels just a little more possible. And now, here comes the moment that so many people have been waiting for, the moment that can change how you see your future, how you feel about your plans, and how confident you can be moving forward. April 2026 is not just another month on the calendar. It is the month that brings clarity, the month that brings real numbers, real updates, and real opportunities. It's the month where you finally get to see how your hard work, your dedication, and your years of effort are being recognized and translated into something tangible. Imagine waking up knowing that there is a clear answer to the questions that have been weighing on your mind. How much will I actually receive? Will it be enough to cover what I need? Will I finally feel a sense of relief? That feeling, that sense of certainty, is powerful. It gives you the ability to breathe a little deeper, to plan a little smarter, and to face the days ahead with more confidence than before. This is not just about numbers on a statement or a policy update. It's about your life. It's about knowing that every sacrifice, every early morning, every long day you worked, has meaning. That it all adds up to a future that can be steadier, safer, and more secure. When you see the updates and understand exactly what they mean for you, you feel a sense of control return. And control, even in small amounts, is priceless. And it's not only about you. It's about the people you care about. Your family, your loved ones, the people you want to support and protect. These updates have a ripple effect. They can influence the way you plan, the choices you make, and the confidence you feel when you think about tomorrow. That's why knowing the details, understanding the changes, and preparing for them is so important. The anticipation is real. There is excitement in learning what these updates mean because they are the key to unlocking a little more stability, a little more peace of mind, and a little more hope. And hope, even in small doses, can change the way you wake up each day. It can give you energy, motivation, and the feeling that you are ready to face whatever comes next. April 2026 is your moment to see clearly, to understand fully, and to step forward with confidence. It's the time to take in the information, feel the impact, and recognize that change is not just possible, it's happening, and it's happening now. And now, let's take a moment to think about what this really means for you. Because at the heart of every update, every number, every policy change, it's not just about paperwork or calculations. It's about people. It's about lives. It's about the thousands, even millions, of Canadians who have spent their entire lives working, giving, and building, hoping that one day they would feel secure, stable, and proud of what they have achieved. Imagine all the mornings you woke up early, the late nights you stayed working, the sacrifices you made quietly, day after day, year after year. Every choice, every effort, every moment of discipline, it wasn't for nothing. Those years have meaning, and now, with these updates, that meaning starts to show in a tangible way. It starts to show in the numbers that will flow into your life, helping you live with a little more freedom, a little more confidence, and a little more peace of mind. And that's the emotional power of this moment. Because it's not just about receiving money, it's about recognizing your effort, validating your dedication, and giving yourself permission to feel secure. It's about knowing that the system is adjusting, responding, and acknowledging the realities of life today. It's about turning uncertainty into clarity, doubt into understanding, and worry into a plan you can trust. Think about how it feels to finally see the numbers, to finally understand what your month will look like, to finally feel like you can breathe just a little easier. That feeling is not small. It's not insignificant. It's a reminder that the years you worked, the years you contributed, the years you persevered, those years matter. They shape your life today and tomorrow. They shape the confidence you feel when you make decisions, the peace you feel when you sit down and think about your future, and the sense of pride you carry knowing that your hard work is paying off in ways that truly matter. This is the moment to feel inspired. The moment to feel motivated. The moment to feel hope. Because change is not just coming, it's here. And when you understand it fully, when you see what it truly means for your life, you realize that you are stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. You realize that the future isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you can face head on, with clarity, with confidence, and with the knowledge that every step you've taken has led to this moment. This is more than an update. This is your opportunity to reclaim a sense of control, to step forward with assurance, and to feel the weight of uncertainty lift, even if just a little. It's a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to know that what comes next can be brighter, safer, and truly yours. And now, think about the power of knowing. The power of clarity. The power of understanding exactly what this update means for your life. Because when it comes to something as important as your pension, knowledge is not just information, it's freedom. It's the freedom to make decisions with confidence, to plan your days without that heavy weight of uncertainty pressing on your shoulders, and to finally feel like you are in control of your own future. For years, many people have wondered quietly, almost secretly, if what they have saved, what they have earned, and what they have planned will ever be enough. That question sits in the back of your mind constantly, shaping your thoughts, shaping your choices, shaping how you feel about each day. And it's exhausting. It's draining. It's heavy. But now, there's a shift happening. There's clarity coming. And with clarity comes a kind of peace that you can feel in your chest, a kind of calm that makes the future feel reachable instead of intimidating. This isn't just about numbers on a page. This is about you. This is about the life you've worked for, the sacrifices you've made, and the dreams you still want to chase. When you see how these new payments are structured, when you understand the adjustments, and when you truly grasp what it all means, you feel something you haven't felt in a long time: hope. Real, tangible hope that your efforts are being recognized, that your contributions matter, and that the years you've dedicated to building a life for yourself and your family are paying off in meaningful ways. It's also about empowerment. Because when you have the right information, you can make choices that protect you, that help you live more comfortably, and that allow you to plan with confidence instead of fear. You start to see possibilities where once there was doubt. You start to feel capable where once there was hesitation. You start to imagine a future where you can live on your terms, with less worry and more pride in what you've achieved. And that feeling is priceless. That sense of hope, clarity, and empowerment, it spreads into every part of your life. It gives you energy. It gives you courage. It reminds you that the hard work, the patience, the dedication, it was all for moments like this. Moments when you can finally step back, take a deep breath, and feel confident that you are prepared, that you are seen, and that your future is within your control. This is your time to embrace that clarity, to feel that hope, and to recognize the power of knowing exactly what comes next. Because when you understand the changes, you are not just informed, you are ready. You are capable. You are stronger than you realized, and the path ahead has never looked clearer.